You cannot not be present with your kid if you're playing ping pong. You can't check your phone. That's why I love that game. Pick things like that when you prioritize who and what you're doing. I don't naturally love picking up my daughter, but I found the light, the love, and the lessons in picking up my daughter because I changed the meaning of it from having to go pick up my daughter from a carpool to, oh my God, I get 30 minutes alone with my kid. Where I am and why I get there and where I'm going, I can tell you because I have 3 lenses that I look through at time. Productivity. I want to suck every second out of the day, right? When I do my stretching, I'm thinking, what else can I do while I stretch? When my wife is watching TV, because that's how she bonds with me, right? That's what she likes to do at night. She likes to sit next to me and me to be present and be able to comment. You know, she's terrible to take to a movie because she's one of those people that talks during the movie, but at home it's great. But that's what she wants. So I just started thinking, what else can I do? And, you know, for me, it even includes refocusing. I think that people don't understand multitasking. The human brain can only look at one thing at a time. It only can focus in on one thing at a time. But the speed of light, right, is slower than the speed of thought. Mm-hmm. So what I do is if my wife is watching TV, I actually am focusing in on my emails. Is a great time, and I've created a process to lessen the amount of attention an email takes. So instead of answering emails, all I do is delete it or slide it into a folder that is categorized by book request. I have a black hole folder, which is I have an employee called Black Hole Blaine, which is that when people make requests that I know that I can't help with, or it's just they're spamming me or whatever, I still want that person in my database. I want it in my ecosystem because I want them to see stuff, and who knows who they know. So it goes into a Blaine folder, and then I have a templated system that me or someone else can go in. Everyone in the Blaine folder gets, Blaine, can you see how we can accommodate this request? Now, if you get that email back from me, it's not because I think you're a black hole person. It's literally because I was moving too fast, but I have a catch-all. Because if Nick gets that email, Blaine, can you see how you can accommodate? He's gonna email me back going, Dave, I'm already dealing with this with you or whatever, or Blaine can help. It's a perfect system, but why is that important? Because that process allows me to focus in on and refocus to the TV and refocus to my wife. So here's how my mind, which moves faster than time, so I'm going in my head, email, and I'm going to the TV, going back in my mind, speed of thought, not the speed of time, back to my emails, then back to her, back to my emails, back here, back to my emails, back. Now, other people think that's multitasking. It's not. It's refocusing. And what I'm able to do is I've created a process where I can gather, because the speed of thought's faster than the speed of light, I can process data from my email, process data from the TV show, process data from the email, process data from my wife, and I'm gathering enough data that I can still get all 3 things at the level that's needed to be done. And if I miss either the email, I have a process that says, okay, these emails are specifically templated to make sure that if I miss, that all I'm doing is answering, sorry, I'm moving too fast. Right? Just like if I miss my wife, and you guys have done this, and women have done this to your partner, I'm sorry, what'd you say? Now I go 100% focus here, shut these 2 down, and I recapture and I'm completely present. So time is your solution with lenses of productivity, accessibility, right? I'm accessible to more, and I'm accessing more information than most people in the man-made construct of time. I'm accessing more and I'm more accessible for every second than most people on earth because I've practiced, and look, just start picking something like email while you're doing that. Most people don't know that even Friday trainings, coaching calls, etc., I'm usually doing my emails because I've created a system that is aligned with the amount of data that my mind needs in order to effectuate being able to refocus. And your mind, if you practice it, imagine how much you can refocus in a second. But you have to have, this is my primary focus. So for example, if my son, I'm not going to do that with Miles. So what do? I pick things like ping pong. And you know, for me, it's the most present game. Problem with video games, a problem with going even to sporting events with business people is you still have your phone and you still have business conversations. You cannot not be present with your kid if you're playing ping pong. You can't check your phone. Like, that's why I love that game. And our relationship is so bonded because he has to stay present with me and I have to stay present with him. It's competitive. We talk and pick things like that when you prioritize who and what you're doing. So I've prioritized my emails over TV and, believe it or not, my emails over my wife while we're watching TV. I don't prioritize my email over my wife. I prioritize my email over my wife when we're watching TV. And I will do the same thing with Miles if he's sitting down and watching TV with us as well, and I'm teaching him how to do his homework and still have the TV on and be able to communicate with his parents. Because we'll be doing it and he'll say to me, oh, I need help with this. And now I'm 100% present here, turn these off. Time is so essential. Understanding the 24-hour limitation that you have and how to utilize the speed of thought over the speed of light. And when you start studying, you'll be amazed how much attention and intention to create the coincidences that you want. And you could train other people to do the same. Now, the third lens is gratitude, because I believe gratitude's a qualifier. Remember, and I think I might have missed this point or I didn't land it about the food. When you're looking for the light, the love, and the lessons, it's in everything, but you have to be able to prioritize and pick the things that feed you the most. So we make a decision, I make it pragmatically, that I love sports, and so I don't have to work hard at loving sports. I don't like opening my mail, and I definitely don't like accounting. But there's love, light, and lessons in it because some people love that shit. So now in my mind, I go ahead and effectuate saying, can I pay someone to do what I don't naturally love? Right? But picking up my daughter, I don't naturally love picking up my daughter, but I found the light, the love, and the lessons in picking up my daughter because I changed the meaning of it from having to go pick up my daughter from a carpool to, oh my God, I get 30 minutes alone with my kid. And I get to ask questions. I don't ever preach or teach. I just keep asking questions and not general ones.
What are specific action, thoughts, steps, or questions you ask yourself to change the meaning of the habit that you've created through a belief system that you have to smash?
Yeah. So first of all, I tell myself this is a practice. I think that's really important in health or in anything to remind myself, look, this is just like golf. I sucked at golf the first time I went to the range. And I got pretty good, right? Pretty good. Why? Because I kept practicing it. But this is more important, for example. So I'm going to give the meaning, if it's something that prioritizes itself by feeding me the best use of my time, right? What I'm going to do then is I'm going to create a practice schedule. Then I go back to time and I give it a minimum amount of time every day, knowing that 2 minutes a day is worth more than 2 hours on a Saturday. So when I worked out with Doug today, he's so aligned with me in time because he must have said 5 times, look, HIIT training is the fastest way to get the cardio impact. These long, light-weighted exercises of each body part is the fastest way when you're my age to look like me. And utilize that time. Now I'm adding to him saying, hey, have you ever thought about listening to audiobooks while you're doing it? Right? Because that refocus, especially when I'm doing the exercises, I'm less focused on my Bhagavad Gita audiobook right now. But while I'm resting in between sets, I'm completely focused on the Bhagavad Gita. And so what we do is we create a matrix of this bleeding and feeding chart combined with the 5 daily practices, which is the habit machine, understanding the lenses of productivity, accessibility. So I'm checking and saying, is there any way I could be more productive here? Is there any way I could be more accessible here? And then using gratitude as a lens of a qualifier, where am I going to rank this? And who, right? And they're all, remember, it's all activities. It's a way healthier way to look at things. Don't make something more than it is. You either have activity you get paid for or activity you don't get paid for if you're looking at.